Broadcasting live from the Deathcap Glade on the plain of Arcavios, this is TapTapConcede. Welcome everybody to TapTapConcede. My name is Graham. Joining me is Nelson.
They let me back in.
And Kathleen.
I refuse to leave.
And today we're going to be talking about Strixhaven Limited. What word was I trying to say? Predominantly? Primarily. One of those, primarily sealed, because we're in the midst of our primordially sealed, because we're in the midst of our sealed league. But first, I want to remind you, of course, that you can get some cards, perhaps for a sealed league of yours to own at Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR for all of your cardboard needs. Tell them we sent you. Ask for a button. This month's button is a big creature is its own reward, and we're coming up to the end of the month. So if you want to get your own reward, now's the time to do it. Also, wrap your cards up in the best sleeves you can buy. Dragon Shield. Use the code LRRMTG5 to get yourself a 5% discount off anything you buy on the Dragon Shield store. And most importantly, everything we do here at Loading Ready Run, not just this, not just Magic, everything is brought to you by you and your support of our Patreon or by becoming a member on this YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. So, we had a pre-release.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We did a brief dalliance with the early access event. We're 2 weeks deep in our sealed league, and the set's finally out on Arena. I've been playing a lot of Strixhaven.
Nice.
And watching a lot of Strixhaven. It's been pretty sweet. We have some of our sealed decks here to talk about some of that, and we also have a booster pack of Strixhaven to open and use that as a jumping off point to talk about some things from the set.
Well.
So I'll crack on into it. Funny story, as James pointed out, he had to go buy this pack, which you'd be like, but don't you always have packs kicking around? Yeah, but Sealed League, as it turns out, takes a lot of booster packs.
But it's so fun. I'm having so much fun. I'm not doing particularly well, but I'm having a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah.
Next week's my week, though.
Okay.
I believe you. Hey, this card's messed up. It's a common. Dig Site Inventory. Single white mana for a sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. It gains vigilance until end of turn and has flashback for another single white mana. Now, it's not inherently messed up. We've seen very similar cards to this before. There was one in... Actually, I think there was one in the original Strixhaven, wasn't there?
No, this one is messed up.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Okay, so because it gives you 2 repartee triggers.
Or one card from your graveyard leaving your graveyard trigger.
That's the problem. Is
It does both.
The card I don't think inherently is problematic, but in this set, it's quite powerful. In either Silver Quill or Lorehold. Yeah. And Lorehold's a much
out of hand.
bigger problem than I thought it was.
Yeah, well, I think all 5 of the colleges are trying to assemble an engine, essentially. They're all trying to go for, like, get my A and then put it with my B and then make my C, make them all explode in fireworks.
I had exactly the same thought.
Yeah.
This is pack one, pick one, or not pick. Not that this card is a first pick, but I mean we're one card into it, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Is that every college feels like if they get online, you're in big trouble.
Right. Yeah, and Lorehold can for sure get online, do its thing, and wreck you. Same with Silver Quill, Witherbloom, Quandrix, and Prismari. I think they all have a route. They all have to play to the board a little bit, get their thing that cares about their stuff happening, and then if it all lines up, they're terrifying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this one goes in 2 decks.
Yeah.
So it's scary for that. Now, which did they get? Sorry, is that the Lorehold or the Silver Quill?
This is the Lorehold.
It's a Lorehold.
Because it's got flashback. Flashback are technically Lorehold cards, but this plays very well in Silver Quill also.
Yeah, because it's 2 repartee triggers for 2 mana.
Yeah. Also, it's really powerful. But the person's got the scrolls and they're dressed like in their fancy Lorehold.
Right. Sorry, I wasn't looking
excavation ascot.
Yeah, I have seen the watermarks before, but I couldn't quite figure it out.
I'm wearing my dig site ruff.
You're right.
The Lorehold people are very flashy when they're I feel like there's, but I want to talk. This is not really related to the mechanics, but I do want to say I feel like mechanically every college has had a bit of a glow up and stuff, and visually the college's treatments are all different. I feel like Lorehold has more consistent outfit design. They have a bit more of a visual identity than they did before. The Inklings look different. They look a little less like blobs and more like calligraphy art and stuff. but
fractals look a little bit different.
The fractals, I feel like Quandrix largely stayed the same.
They maybe look more the same as last time.
Well, I feel like Quandrix and Prismari already had a very strong visual identity, as did Silverquill. Silverquill's leaned very heavily into this like pen and nib motif.
They have, yeah.
I think a little bit of it. I think a little bit might be. I mean, I get it.
It's a bit too much in spots.
I feel like it's a little bit too, like, every outfit looks very similar, but it does give each college a very distinct visual identity and motifing, which I like. But I think I prefer maybe a little bit of the approach for, like, like in the original guild sets where, you had all your Dimir people and stuff like that, but they all looked slightly different, but within the motif.
Yeah. Anyway, this card's, as I say, it's not actually like a high pick, but it is, you're going to play it.
Yeah, I'm very happy to pick that up. I might pick that up like 4th, though.
Sure. Yeah, it could be a medium pick. Absolutely.
Next, we have Cheerful Osteomancer. I quite like this one. This is 3 and a black for a 4/2 Orc Warlock. It enters prepared, and the prepared spell is Raise Dead. Just return target creature from your graveyard to your hand.
This also triggers repertory because it's target creature.
Not in the graveyard.
Not in the graveyard.
Yeah, so this is more of like a Witherbloom kind of coded fellow, I think.
Yeah. But you know what? I still feel like a Raised Dead's pretty good in this format.
Yeah,
There's a fair amount of removal.
It's fine.
You're fine to trade off a creature and then get it back again.
Yeah, 1 more mana for Gravedigger, but it also triggers any like Opus stuff you have, or if you're in a multicolor deck, or like it's a spell. Anything that cares about like instants and sorceries happening, it does that. So
4/2 trades well.
Yeah, that's true. It's got better stats than Gravedigger. That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like rushing to pick this up though. I'm way over on like dig site inventory.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, this is a later pickup. You shouldn't. Your deck probably doesn't have to work to get Cheerful Osteomancer. I don't think.
I don't think so.
It should just kind of come around if you want it.
Yeah.
Our next card is Essence Scatter. It's classic. It's a reprint. It counters a creature spell.
I mean,
you don't play it.
I haven't had opportunity to play it, but I've seen it cast a lot in like drafts that I've watched, and there's a lot of creatures that you just don't want to have to deal with.
I think it's important in Prismari.
Yeah. I think it's good in Prismari. I think that it doesn't I think that I am more interested in using my mana to advance my game plan and build my engine than necessarily hold up counter spells.
If you're in Quandrix, hopefully you're ramping on turn 2. Or maybe not ramping, but like...
Oh, that's true.
Playing environmental scientist.
Yeah, I mean...
But this is a huge setback.
You don't have to think of it as a 2-drop. Like This is just the Doomblade for their 6-drop. That you get in blue.
Yeah, and then you just play it later.
It is it's a hard counter. Like they can't pay their way out of it. It's just at any point in the game you just say no, that creature doesn't get to resolve.
Maybe I'm undervaluing Essence Scatter.
It's playable.
Oh,
6th pick.
Okay.
You know what's really playable? I love this one. I was going to talk about this one for my deck. It's Studious First Year.
Yep.
This is the 1/1 Bear Wizard for a single green.
I also got a Studious First Year out.
Yeah. It enters prepared, and the prepared spell is Rampant Growth. You search your library for a basic land, put that card in the battlefield, tap, and then shuffle. Tell me about Studious First Year.
Yeah, so you can for sure jam this in a Quandrix or Witherbloom deck, just because on curve, even if you whether you play it any of the first 3 turns, you're pretty happy to have this effect and a body that's going to be less important than your opponents, less impressive, but happy to chump. And then it fixes your mana and advances you 1 more mana. Like it's just such an iconic, great spell to get to cast Rampant Growth for only 2 mana. Go get any basic land. It also is like a core card if you're trying to go for the Converge deck, which will usually, I think, be Quandrix as like a baseline. Like I think it's like the Quandrix and Witherbloom decks. As you're drafting them, it might turn out that you're also going to be a 5-color deck. Like you might be a mostly Quandrix deck, but then you take some Converge cards and then you play 1 of each basic as well. You have this and maybe another, like the Zimone's 4-mana spell or whatever that searches for lands. You've got a few different ways to get these extra lands to power up your Converged cards. And this one, I think, is just like the best one because it's so cheap and it's a creature.
I've been watching Kenji drafting, and it took him about half a day before he was like, oh, wait, there's a 5-color deck here. And that's basically all he's been doing since then. Yeah. And the 5-color deck is it has it's powerful in that you just get to take whatever the most powerful spell is and you probably get to resolve it. But also, the Converge cards are quite powerful, especially if you're spending 4-5 colors on them. It's the getting to the point where your mana base is good. That stage of the game is the challenge. And yeah, Studious First Year it's a great way to do it. But yeah, even in just the 2-color decks, it's like, yeah, then I'll just have more mana. It's you're ramping the mana. You're accelerating it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I just say, in my sealed deck, like I said, I'm not doing great in sealed league, but I feel like I've been very close to winning many games. But one of the things I'm doing is, because it's sealed league, is I'm splashing into a 3rd color. Mm-hmm. And this card is, I've never had problems with my mana, even running I was running a handful of black cards, but I had 1 swamp and 2 duels, 2 green-black duels, and I was fine because I could always get what I needed with Studious First Year.
Right.
Mwah. Or get me to the double pips on 2 blues. It's just really nice card. Very. Ooh, I think I would definitely pick highly if I was planning on going 5 color.
The boomers just want to dirtle around. All the olds just want to cast a 1/1 that gets them another land.
Yeah.
It's just the best thing.
What's in the background of this?
Butterflies?
Art?
No? Or...
Is it like clouds?
It's
beyond the trees and the buildings.
It's 2 suns. Does
Arcavios have 2 suns?
Canonically, it has 2 suns.
Oh. And then, I guess it's just cloud, and there's those are books. It's a flock of books flying through the air.
Oh.
Yeah, they're teaching that bear how to cast Rampant Growth.
Wild. Huh. Neat. Okay. Anyway, big fan of bear.
Fair.
Similar, but different, is the Goblin Glasswright. 1 and a red for a 2/2 Goblin Sorcerer. It enters prepared, and its prepared spell is Craft with Pride, a sorcery for a single red that makes a treasure token.
Okay, so this one's quite Prismari coded.
Oh, yeah.
This is the only 2-drop that I'm not playing in my sealed pool in my Lorehold deck, because this isn't what we need to be doing as much. 10 2-drops is a lot also.
Damn.
I am on 9. But I was like, I looked through, I double checked. I'm like, should I be playing one more 2-drop? And it was this guy. And it's like, well, it's not terrible, but I don't have any Opus stuff. So this obviously lets you Opus for free, kind of, right? At the very baseline, it's just spend that red mana, get a trigger that gives your creatures +1/+1, and then just you have that red mana back as it's a treasure token. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's okay.
Yeah.
It helps you set up for your big turns. There are storm cards in this set.
There's also, I noticed, potentially you could call this restraint from the design perspective, but there are very few instances in this set of treasure. Okay. Whereas that's been a lot more recently.
There was kind of an era where treasure was pretty rampant.
Yeah.
Kind of centered around AFR. I want to say that was kind of the height of how wild they had gone with treasure.
Yeah.
And then after that set, it kind of became clear. It's this is actually kind of a problem for Limited, where it hedges out whole strategies if there's just enough treasures that you would never do X thing that was part of the main plan of the set, because you can do clever Y thing instead.
Mm-hmm.
I did a Prismari. I drafted some Prismari stuff, and I had 2 copies, I think, of a legendary uncommon that I cannot remember their name, but they're 3 and a red. There's some kind of ward. I think they're a 4/4, and if you cast a spell, you can sacrifice an artifact, and if you do, you copy the spell. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, this one's great. And I realized in deck building, I was like, wait, I have no way of making artifacts.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't.
Oh, Micah,
thank you. I was like, this is just a 4/4, which is fine, I guess. It's a 4/4 with ward. Yeah, sure, fine. But
4/4 for 4 in red.
Yeah,
it's okay.
But this is never gonna happen. Yeah, Micah, Reader of Ruins. Okay. So yeah, the ward is pay 3 life. So 4/4 for 4 with ward pay 3 life is actually playable. But whenever you cast instant sorcery, you can sack an artifact, and if you do, you can copy the spell. And I was like, I have no artifacts, and I have nothing that makes treasure. So I'm maybe only going to run one of these.
Yeah, this guy trades with Sloth, except then they get pests. But
yeah, I feel
you still have to get rid of that Sloth. The pests don't have reach.
No, I love that Sloth.
Oh yeah, that Sloth is crazy. Sorry, we could talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about the sloth real quick.
Yeah. Sorry, in green, I can't remember if this is a common or an uncommon.
It's the pest something sloth.
Yeah,
Pest brood sloth?
I have it. Pest brood. Yeah, that's right. It is an uncommon. So it's got the watermark from
Witherbloom.
Witherbloom, thank you.
Yeah.
And it is a Witherbloom coded card because it makes these 1/1 pests that gain you life when they attack. But this is just a 3-mana 4/4 reach for 4. Like
It's a 4-mana.
Sorry, 4-mana. 4-mana 4/4 reach for 4. Just doing our giant spider so dirty with 2 extra points of power and a super relevant death trigger.
It's just you get 6 worth of power and toughness for 4 mana.
Back in my day, if you wanted to, beat out giant spider like this, you had to at least pay 2 in green to get Penumbra Spider.
Do you remember in Tarkir there was the 4/4 Sagu Brawler? One of those. It was a big square creature because it was a 4/4 for 4, right? And that card was just so good. I just think there's something about a
Pummeler,
4
right?
Sagu Pummeler.
I also raved about this thing during like the Fam Jam or something. I think, because it's like gives reach to another creature. Oh,
Yeah,
so
and
good.
and it's that 6. But you're still getting 6 power because it's renews 5 mana. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put 2+1/+1 counters in a reach counter on target creature. So there is this is a common. So the Pest Brood Sloth is an uncommon. But I think there's just a 4/4 with reach. Just solves so many problems.
Yeah.
Like pretty much unless they've got like a dragon out, most flyers cannot attack through this profitably.
Yeah.
Especially because most of the density of flyers in I'm thinking of Prismari especially. The Prismari elementals this time around are flyers, but they're 3/3s. And there's a lot of like owls and owlins and birds and things all through Prismari that are smaller
The
than
Silver
this.
Quill flyers are mostly smaller too. Like obviously the Inklings are only 1/1s, but then like the legendary uncommon is a 2/3, and like you can work to make it big enough to get through this, but that's gonna be 2+1/+1 counters.
It's not that there's none flyers that get past this.
Yeah.
It's just the majority of ones you're most likely to encounter get pretty nicely blocked.
This is a really big stop sign, and then if you trade it off for a big dragon, like there's a 5/4 flyer in Prismari that would normally be a problem, but this just says nope, and I'll take 2 pests as a parting gift. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like mwah.
Anyways, but Micah can attack and do it.
That's true.
That's true.
Also, I found another artifact for Micah to sacrifice. It's the Mage Tower Referee. It's a 2-mana 2/1 artifact construct, and whenever you cast a multicolored spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. I have not seen anyone pick or take or cast or care about this card.
Seems unplayable and sealed.
Yes, I think this is actually might be quite good if you're doing draft converge. Like if you're doing the converge, like the multicolored deck in draft.
Yep.
Because there's a fair amount of multicolored cards, but there's no split mana in this set, is there? Or hybrid mana?
There is in the gold spell.
There's a cycle.
Yeah.
There's a cycle, but not a lot.
3 mana. They're not all 3 mana. There's
But
a cycle
they're both
of
colors.
I think they're uncommons, but there's a cycle of hybrid creatures that have mana pips of like it's like white Orzhov black.
Yeah.
Or red is it blue.
Yeah.
In the 3 pips, and then I think the white one, the Witherbloom one and the Prismari one are definitely both 3 mana, but the Silver Quill one is like the 3 mana and then some more generic mana.
Right.
Yeah. So like we're looking at Abstract
Paint
Paint Mage right now, which is blue is it red for a 2/2 Djinn Sorcerer, and at the beginning of your first main phase you add blue and red, but you can only cast instant or sorcery spells. That's not a limiting factor. See my PPR deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that that card could be good if you're in a 5-color deck anyhow.
The little guy.
Yeah. Little Mage Tower Referee. Otherwise, I'm not super excited to play him.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because like some of the powerful converge spells are technically monocolor spells. Right. They just care about you putting multiple colors into them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're playing that deck, you're definitely playing multicolor spells as well. And so maybe your Mage Tower Referee slides in as you're like, boy, I really need a 2-drop while I'm playing all these tap lands.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I think if like you just like consistently start dropping counters on that guy, like I think he's probably fine.
Yeah. Next we have Arnin Deathbloom Botanist. 2 and a black for a 2/2 vampire druid with death touch. Whenever a creature you control with power or toughness 1 or less dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Nelson, does this go in Aristocrats?
Sure, you can. Yeah, we talked about this one on the podcast for Canadian Highlander a little bit too. And it's a bit specific, and it's legendary, and it only has 2 toughness. But 2 life is a lot. Like, you know, it's got the 4-point life swing. So if you can set up just your turn where you're skull clamping even 2 other creatures away from like your Ocelot Pride or something, then that's probably fine. Like for your 3 mana you spend on this and don't want for 4. If you're in kind of like a mid-rangey kind of tokens Aristocrats deck, any of those, you can absolutely consider it. It is a little sketch just because legendary and 2 toughness. So it's like, it's maybe flavor of the week. But the last time they gave us this big like 2 life chunk was on a 2 mana legendary 2/2, but it said only once per turn. And so this is better. This is an improvement on, I think it's like Phyrexianized Kemba or something, or maybe it was a different land that's in black. Some creature from Phyrexia will be one. Does a similar kind of thing. It doesn't care about the power toughness of the creature, but it can only drain them once per turn. I don't know. I also found that there aren't a lot of ones floating around.
So that's the thing.
This cares about pests.
Just the pests.
That's the thing.
Right?
I was going to say. So I have Arnin in my Seal Pool, which is a Witherbloom deck, and I have yet to.
Right.
She's a 2/2 death touch for 3, which has been great.
Yeah.
The having a 2/2 death touch for 3 in the same way as Crawl whatever from War of the Spark, just a 2/2 death touch for 3, or like a Drooling Grudian or whatever the hell it was called. Anyway, those things, that's great. I have yet to make this ability trigger. It's obviously because again she's got the Witherbloom watermark. She's designed to work with pests so that you'll be like, I attack with my 2 pests, I gain 2 life from the attack. You don't want to block my 1/1s because I'll just drain you even more. So my 1/1s get through, and the next turn I get to use them again and keep gaining more life and hitting all the infusion triggers and all that, or things that are technically not triggers, but things that care about infusion. So like, I think she's pretty good if you're doing Witherbloom stuff with a lot of pests. I'm doing Witherbloom stuff with not a high number of pests. And so, yeah, like I said, I've never actually gotten this to trigger once, but I still think she's good generally, just as a death toucher.
Yeah, like we played 2 days ago, and I think you had Arden down for like most of game 1.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, this is a roadblock, so like I never really want to attack with my biggest thing. So just having a death touch creature was solid for limited.
And then later we'll talk.
Big fan of death touch here.
Oh, you're right.
Nice.
I'm wearing my death touch shirt. Ooh.
Yeah.
Fun.
Death touch pairs well with trample.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't actually seen this card. Daydream. It's a single white mana. Exile target creature you control. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. And flashback for 2 and a white.
Yet another very decent Lorehold card that the Silver Quill players want.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay 4 mana to target 2 creatures this time. But that's okay, because you probably want to do it on opposite turns, because you've got like your creature that you want to target, and then you've got your other creatures in play that you want to keep in play so that your repartee trigger works.
Yeah.
You know?
It is a sorcery, which, you know, because you can't just be like, blah, blah, to get around stuff. But I just feel like if you've got anything with a halfway's decent enter the battlefield effect, you're very okay with this. Also, this if you flicker a creature that enters prepared and then use its spell, and then you flicker it, then it comes back prepared again, correct?
That's what I was going to say.
It's good stuff.
Sorry, Nelson.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's just one of the obvious synergies that you get with Daydream if you have prepared creatures in your deck. Yeah, that's it.
Also, I quite just like the art and the flavor of this one. That it's like, you know, it's like, hey, oh, sorry, I was somewhere else for a moment. Sorry,
I left.
Yeah, this is a really pretty.
I can come back. Yeah.
Just it's objectively beautiful. Nia Kowalski. Good job.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh wait, Kovalevsky.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't read it.
The text is very small on our monitor.
And there's lights in my face.
Also that. This card's so good. Fractal Tender. 3 green blue for a 3/3 elf wizard. It's got ward 2 for some reason. And increment. So increment is sort of like we've been saying, like evolve for spells. This is the Quandrix mechanic. If you cast a spell when you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast the spell, because X spells means they're sort of scalable, if the amount of mana spent to cast the spell is greater than this creature's power or toughness, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Generally, the increment cards, I think, have been pretty good. This one in particular says the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on this creature this turn, not just from increment, but anyway, you also make a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and put 3 +1/+1 counters on it.
You just got a free 3.
This is a preposterously powerful uncommon.
Yeah, this is a limited bomb. It's like a mythic uncommon, right?
Yeah.
This is. I think this. It's got ward 2 because you're paying 5 for this, so you're probably paying your whole turn for it. And if you don't untap with this, you're pretty blown out.
You feel sad, yeah.
Yeah, so I can see that, but God, it's so good. It's you do not have to work hard to get a counter on it.
There are like 1 mana spells that will put. It's just like put a counter on your creature. Well, actually,
Yeah, we just saw one.
just
Our
saw
first
one.
card of the day.
Yeah, right.
It's in white, but still, it's
both
your
of
Quandrix. So
both of these white flashbacks put counters on the creature.
right, Daydream doesn't specifically work with this one because it has an end of turn trigger, and that's when you'll get your creature back with Daydream, right? Or is
Nope.
Daydream immediately?
Daydream's immediate.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
There
it's
might
okay.
is there another Flecker card that brings it back at the end of the turn that's from this set?
Maybe.
I'm thinking of something else. My
There's
bad.
also I think ways to get counters in black, which pairs a lot better with Fractal Tender because you can use Witherbloom stuff to get it.
There is also, I think there's a 1 green mana spell that puts a counter on a creature from this set too.
There is. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's like it sort of does everything that you want in either Witherbloom or Quandrix, because I'm pretty sure that it's just like put a counter on a creature, draw a card, gain a life.
No, it gives it +1/+1 till end of turn.
Oh,
It
okay,
does
that's
not
not
give
a
it a counter.
Okay.
That's too powerful.
That would be really good.
We say in
I thought it'd be like
2026.
I thought it'd be like the green equivalent of Dig Site Inventory, right? Where it's like, oh, this works in either of these decks.
I mean, it is kind of the green equivalent of Dig Site Inventory because it does boost your creature, and
That's true.
you draw a card and stuff. The life gain is just for Witherbloom, but it's like fine to have in other ways. But yes, that card that doesn't put a counter on it, unfortunately.
I know how you can set it up. If you play Tester of the Tangential before you play this, then you can get your increment off Tester of the Tangential, and then for 1 mana at the beginning of your combat, you can move the counter from Tester onto your Fractal Tender.
There we go.
There you go. You just need 6 mana. I mean, and that's fine. I feel like you get to that, and this card's really good. If you are in Quandrix, take this card.
So we were in Kathleen and I did a Quandrix sealed deck in the early access event, VOD for which is on this channel. Go check it out. And we found with increment, there are a bunch of cards in. You thought they'd be quieter, didn't you? There were a bunch of cards in green and blue, and also green and blue with X costs, and they tie the whole increment deck together. Like cards like Procrastinate, which like just puts effectively infinite stun counters on a creature. Cards like Terrafractal, just things that scale as the game goes on, so that you are able to keep hitting the breakpoint for incrementing your creatures with increment. Very good, very good and fun.
All right. I think that the Quandrix uncommon there, Fractal Tender, is now my first pick for sure.
Reasonable. I don't think the next couple are going to change it. So next we have, very funnily, Micah, Reader of Ruins, who we've sort of already talked about.
Fine.
All right.
Now, I will say, very handsome and shows up in the Quintorius side story. Very briefly.
Now
doesn't really impact it or say anything interesting.
There's another uncommon of Sanar.
Yes.
And Sanar actually makes treasure, just like taps to make treasure.
Yes.
So that's a way that treasure can happen, and is only an uncommon. But so there's potentially some synergy there. But
You're allowed to put artifacts in your deck too. There's
that's true.
Pagey or whatever, or there's some kind of mana rocket 3
the
mana.
Strixhaven Sky Coach. There's there's that 2/1 we were just discussing. There's not a ton of artifacts in the set, though. I will say
the is it Potioners or Poisoners? I think it's Potioners.
Potioners Trove.
Trove
Yeah.
is the manolith.
That's what I was thinking of.
That so it's 3 mana. By manolith, I mean 3 mana taps for 1 mana of any color. But then it has this other ability where you gain 2 life, activate only if you've cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn.
Right.
And so, like, obviously Witherbloom cares more about the life gain aspect, but like everyone's casting spells and that wants to gain life, so that's all just sort of bonus.
Yeah, if you gain life, then your opponent has to deal you more damage, in order to kill you. You could play Biblioplex Tomekeeper before Micah and a spell, and then it's like, 4 mana goes into mostly this 3/4 of stats, but you can at least prepare your creature first before you sacrifice it. I don't know.
Ooh.
There are some options for Micah. That's all I'm saying. I haven't actually played this card yet. It seems like it's extra good if you have an Emeritus, right? Surge actually has in sealed. After I played you, I had to play against Surge, and I'm going totally middle of the road. I went 2-0 week 1 and 0-2 week 2, but Surge has the Emeritus of Truce, the white cat that prepares into getting
Swords to Plowshares?
Plowshares, and the uncommon land.
Oh.
I might also have Sky Coach in the name.
Sky Coach.
Terminal or something? I
Something?
think Sky Coach Waypoint. Thank you.
Right.
That just so you can, you have to kind of put your resources into keeping Surge from setting that up every turn and just Swords to Plowsharing all of your creatures forever for 4 mana.
Yeah.
Or 5, I guess 5, including the swords. Yeah.
I mean, it's still a fine deal, I think.
Yeah. Surge was doing a lot
It's good for the person casting Swords to Plowshares, yes.
Yeah, when I was playing against Surge, he didn't manage to do, to my recollection, maybe I blocked it out.
Sure.
He didn't do the Emeritus over and over again, but he had other creatures that he was just like, oh, I'm just going to keep preparing this. And I
Yeah,
was
Sky
like,
Coach Waypoint isn't particularly fair. It's slow,
yeah,
but
it's powerful.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like so slow that
You don't want to do
you're
it late
necessarily going to get under it,
Yeah.
Our rare for this pack, reminder that there is still a Mystical Archive card, and there's a foil actually, is Stormcarved Coast, which is just a cycle of the lands.
It's a reprint, yeah.
Yeah, and are tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. Nice to see more of these around. Everyone needs these for Commander.
Back in Standard, too.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, Graham and I kind of sorted we're going to call it the collection because it's our co-collection.
Yeah.
But basically one of the things we were going through is like, hey, do we need all these cards? It's like, you know what we should actually hold on to is the land, because always the land base when you're trying to build a deck.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of always happy to open one of these.
Yeah. No, it's a decent dual land.
The Mystical Archive card, absolutely terrific art on this one. It's Monstrous Rage.
Fun.
Reprint from Wilds of Eldraine. Single red mana instant, big problem in Standard at the time anyway. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Create a monster roll attached to it. The monster roll gives the creature +1/+1 and trample. So it's a pretty powerful combat trick. It's casting a spell as far as Opus is concerned. It's just a really good combat trick. I don't know if are you able to find the Mystical Archive option there, James?
I'm looking.
Okay. Doesn't inherently do anything that Lorehold is particularly trying to do, but it's a good combat trick.
It's just a good combat
It's
trick.
a good combat
Lorehold
trick.
does want to crundle in with creatures, and this gets you, possibly killing their creature and trampling them. It's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that this got... Well, did this one... I forget. Did this one get banned in Standard, or just some of the other cards from the red deck? This was in a deck or two that was a problem in Standard.
I can't remember if Rage took the ban or if it was something else. But
Pretty
yeah,
sure
there
the
was
mouse
the
stayed in, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
they had to ban some cards from this red deck.
It started with the
good.
mouse, and then with Heartfire Hero.
This is currently banned in Standard.
Okay.
Currently banned. There you go. Yeah.
Weird time to reprint it, I guess.
Well,
anyway, I just think this art's really cool.
Yeah.
And we have a foil. This is pretty exciting, actually. It's a big old mythic Witherbloom spell.
What?
It's Witherbloom.
It's Witherbloom.
Witherbloom, the Balancer.
Nice.
Whoa, really?
6 black green for a 5/5 Elder Dragon with affinity for creatures, flying and death touch, and instant and sorcery spells you cast have affinity for creatures.
Hey, James,
Seems
you got
good.
a good pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take this, please.
Yeah, I'm checking the price on Carrot Kingdom to see if I can quit.
It's a foil.
The answer is $23.
Nice.
Damn.
Are you done with Magic now? Hey, you going to sell your whole collection?
Yeah, somebody needs to take over for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. Put me in, coach.
Also, this card is stupid.
Oh, you meant your job?
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah.
Oh, you're quitting everything.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Nice.
$23.
Taking this-
$23, man.
Yeah.
And take this $23 and retire to a paper bag.
Souk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This card's really good.
This card's a banger.
It's 7 mana, 5/5 flyer, instant or sorceries you control have affinity for creatures. Who cares? This is probably coming down as a 4-drop.
I was going to say, technically it's 8 mana at full rate.
Oh,
but,
right.
But presumably you're never casting this for full rate. If there's one thing Witherbloom knows how to do,
is make lots
of creatures. Yeah.
What's like the most exciting big spell you can cast in the limited environment? Like in green, you have access to some Quandrix X spells, like we were just talking about.
Oh, that's true.
Is there just like +X+O until end of turn?
I hadn't thought about.
No, but you could make an enormous Terrafractal.
Right. Oh, that's cool. Well, okay. So
that's a creature.
You got to lean into blue for that. But sorry. Obviously you're in green, so maybe when you get Witherbloom, you want to be in a Sultai deck.
Maybe it's just the Paradigm spell.
Sure. That one's only 5 mana. That is probably the most powerful thing you can do.
That card's messed up too.
I think
it means you could maybe cast this and that on the same turn.
Yeah, I think what I'm actually interested in this doing is that this is coming down early as a 5/5, right? Like, even at worst case scenario, I'm probably getting this on turn 5. That's really good. 5/5 flyer is a good body, and it's going to give my instant and sorcery spells cheaper. So I'm actually probably looking to reduce the cost of things like my removal spells.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I would love to do a removal spell for a single black and then like leave my mana up for other stuff.
If you're able to go a 1-drop and then a 2-drop, and then there are multiple 3-drops that come with a pest,
okay,
then you could potentially get Witherbloom down on turn 4 in sort of in like reasonable Christmas land. Like it's not magical Christmas land. That's attainable Christmas land.
Right. So this card's good when you're doing well.
When you're curving out.
When you're curving out. Yeah. This card is bad if you're behind. For sure, because you don't have anything.
If you got no creatures in play
and
and it costs 8 mana, then that's pretty rough. Yeah.
But I still think I'm first picking this.
Yeah.
Although as like a ramp target, like if you are you did draft a deck where you're just ramping and playing converge spells, and like you don't have a lot of creatures in play typically, it's still a 5/5 flying death touch. So like when you're on the back foot, at the very worst, like Witherbloom should be able to like stop their worst threat in its tracks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's got good stats.
So speaking of Witherbloom, the archetype, not the dragon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is where I've solidified my sealed deck, my sealed league deck. For those who have been watching the league, in the first week I was doing Sultai, splashing some green stuff because I had 2 Fractal Tenders, and that seemed pretty good to run. And I also was running, admittedly, like optimistically, 2 different very powerful blue cards that were both double blue pipped. The Pensive Professor, which is a 0/2 with increment, and whenever you put a counter on him, you also draw a card. And the Emeritus of Ancestral Recall. I don't recall what they're the Emeritus of. Ideation. And never drew them. Which is that's results oriented, not a reason to cut them. But I opened enough reliable commons and uncommons and Witherbloom that it made sense to just shift the deck to purely 2 colors. And I did the opposite of Nelson. I went 0-2 in the first week and then 2-0 in this week. And one of those was that we were having a fight.
Yeah.
I also was impressed with like the engine coming online.
Right.
Bogwater Lumerate is amazing. It's the 2 mana frog for black-green that when it or another creature enters, you gain 1 life. And the thing is, Infusion only cares about 1 life. It can be any amount of life gained. And so there's a lot of Witherbloom cards that are just like, oh, and you gain 1 life. And then you're like, oh, all my stuff cares about that. So Bogwater Lumerate with Thornfist Striker, which is 3/3 for 3 with Ward 1. Centaur Courser getting a big upgrade here. And then the infusion is creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample as long as you've gained life this turn. So that doesn't get bigger with more life you gain or more instances of life gain. It's just binary yes, no, did you gain life, then everything gets this +1/+0 boost. But that's really good. We mentioned Arnon has Death Touch. Death Touch trample is really strong. I had 2 Thornfist Strikers out at one point, so then each of them becomes a 5/3. Like it really got out of hand.
Yeah, this guy in particular, those are probably the 2 cards. Arnon was also kind of a problem in our matchup just because I could get Spirit Mascot. That's just the common,
Spirit Mascot's very good.
Bear with college's mechanic on it. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, this gets +1/+1 counter. So like my deck is looking to go wide with Group Project. I have 3 Group Project, and then I have some other ways to make these 2/2 spirits. But this card is one of only a few cards that can go tall. And yeah, any Death Touch creature kind of stops in its tracks. It doesn't have trample. So if you just have the Lumeret, the frog, whatever it is,
Bogwater Lumeret.
Lumeret, is that?
Yeah,
that must be. Is that like the kind of species of frog or something?
It is.
The Lumerets are these weird little
These creatures that
fairy
are found
frogs.
in Titan graves. It's this story thing.
Okay, neat. All right,
Yeah.
so it's a Arcavio specific
Yes.
Yeah.
magical frog. Cool. Anyways, so between this and the strikers and the Death Touch creature, it was kind of like it's really tough for at least my Lorehold deck to get through that and make a meaningful race. So yeah,
There was a turn
like those.
Your turn 4 in our first game. I thought was really cool because again, you're talking about Group Project, which is you make a 2/2. You make one of the 2/2 Lorehold spirits, and then the flashback is tap 3 untap creatures you control.
Right.
So you went Group Project. So then you had the Spirit Mascot and these 2 tokens. Then you tapped all 3 of those to flashback one instance of the Group Project. So then you got a third one and put a counter on your Spirit Mascot. And it was just sort of like, it's like you went from 1 creature to 5 creatures
Right.
very quickly. And it was like, whoa, that's explosive.
Yeah, during our match, I actually held off on casting a Group Project at one point when I could have, and it might have been to my detriment. I think I might have ended the game where you had 2 Thornfist Strikers with still a Group Project in my graveyard, just because the deck cares about cards leaving your graveyard so much. I wanted to make sure that
You could do it when you needed to.
I wanted to make sure that if it didn't result in me attacking, I wasn't using my last flashback spell, just so that it would be there in case I had an Owlin Historian that was going to be pushing through for damage. That one just gets +1/+1 until end of turn, but it has flying. Or for a turn where I have Primary Research. This is an uncommon enchantment that says at the beginning of your end step, if a card left your graveyard, draw a card. Right?
Yeah.
So it's unless I'm actually getting through for damage with that 2/2, I want to know that I can potentially get, an instance of the Lorehold mechanic.
Yeah,
working.
it's like holding a land when you know you have a Thrill of Possibility or something where
Exactly.
it's like I should not play this so that I have this thing for later.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah. And do you have the 2/1 bird as well?
Yeah, I have the rare Hardened
Yeah.
Academic. Yeah, okay, exactly. So this is another one of these hits. This one's a rare, but nobody except the Lorehold deck wants it, so you might be able to get it kind of late in draft. 2/1 Bird Cleric with Flying and Haste, and it also has a discard a card. This creature gains lifelink until end of turn. And whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 on target creature you control. It doesn't even have to be itself, which is nice.
Oh wow! I
Yeah.
assumed it had to be it. That's
Yeah.
wild. Okay.
No, you just get to put that counter wherever you want. It's going to be it a lot of the time.
Because it's a 2/1 flyer.
Because it has flying. Yeah, exactly. And it might have lifelink. So, if you have a flashback spell you're happy to get rid of, or just an extra land or something. So it's the way the Lorehold engine works is that you have creatures that care, or cards that care about cards leaving the graveyard, and then you have ways to make cards leaving the graveyard. You either have flashback spells, or you have some looting, or just your creatures die, and then you have cards that take your cards out of the graveyard.
You've got the Ardent Dusk Speaker.
Yeah, the Ascendant Dusk
Ascendant
Speaker.
Dusk
Ascendant Dusk Speakers.
Ardent Dusk Speakers from the original set.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Look at his battle rough.
yeah. So this is one of the common good ways to do this. It's 5 mana for a 3/4, but it has flying, and whenever it enters, you get a +1/+1 counter on a different creature. It can't pump itself. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. So you can tax your opponent's graveyard in case they're doing something or they have a flashback spell,
Which is good against me.
right, because you probably have raised dice and stuff.
Oh gosh,
There's a lot of reanimation in black in this.
there
set.
is.
Yeah.
It's not Pest Mascot. Teacher's Pest.
Teacher's Pest.
As they gave reassembling skeleton menace and life gain. It's black-green for a 1/1 skeleton pest with menace, and whenever it attacks, you gain life because that's what pests do in this set. And then for black and green, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Yeah, I mean, trying to get this out of your opponent's graveyard is possibly a pipe dream, but you could potentially
you got to wait till
catch them unawares
yeah.
if you're lucky and it happens.
I'm not gonna. If I had that, if I was in Lorehold and I had this Dust Speaker that could get cards out of my graveyard, I'm not gonna worry about them spending 2 mana to bring a 1/1 with Menace back from the graveyard, like tapped. I'm gonna take whatever I can out of my graveyard and get more triggers.
Well, good. You probably would have beaten Graham.
I mean, if they're tapped out, you should get the pest because like the any life gain. If you can somehow stop the Witherbloom deck from gaining any life, a lot of their cards are much worse.
Yeah,
if you can turn off their engine,
yeah. It literally makes their creatures get free Trumpet Blast and trample if they can gain life on their turn, right? So it's
That's true.
They don't have an Alpha Strike if they can't gain life.
I want to talk about 2 more rares that are in this deck, and then one uncommon that's not in this deck that I would love to open. So if you were watching the week 1 where I was on camera, you will have seen Wild Growth Archaic do its thing, and its thing is preposterous. So it's 2 green mana or 4 generic mana. It's like the hybrid 2 generic and a green.
Colorless hybrid.
Yeah. For a 0/0 trample reach with Converge, it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. So in the case of this deck, I cast it for black, green. So it's a 2/2. But whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with X additional +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. So like functionally, that just means every creature in this deck enters with an additional 2 +1/+1 counters.
Right.
Oh, that'll trigger your Quandrix Fractal Tender immediately.
Also that, yes.
Right.
But like it's that's just sort of messed up, being like, I just play this 2/2 for 2 mana. Oh, it's actually a 4/4 for 2 mana, sorry. Like it's that gets out of control. And then the Tragedy Feaster. This is another one where the life gain is super relevant. It's a wild card here. It's a 7/6 demon. Two black. It's got trample, ward, discard a card, and then at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice a permanent unless you gained life this turn.
This is like the Demagoth of Woe from the first Strixhaven that would ask you to sacrifice stuff, except it was way harder to get around that card, and this is pretty easy. And sometimes you want to sacrifice stuff anyhow.
There was a few turns there in our match
sacrifice
where
this.
I was sacrificing a lot of land.
Right.
I think I put like 2 or 3 lands in the bin.
Yeah, the first game when you played this, it was kind of like nail in the coffin. Where I already wasn't attacking, and you had the Thornfist Strikers and the Lumered and the Pest that can come back in your graveyard. So it was like your deck was already doing this thing, and it was like, and I have Tragedy Feaster now. So next turn I'll be attacking for like whatever it was +9.
Yeah,
you know. But then the second game you played it kind of as a blocker and had to sacrifice a few lands, and so it seemed like maybe I was going to have a way in there, but I still lost that game.
Seems pretty decent.
Yeah.
I have to say, I haven't played as much as I wanted to. I've been very busy working on some other stuff for the past couple weeks. But I have to say that I'm really a big fan of some of the uncommons in this set. There's an uncommon called Scathing Shadelog. That's a 5-drop in Silver Quill. And it's prepared spell, which just gets prepared at the beginning of your first main phase, and it costs 1 mana. This target creature gets +2/+0 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. And it itself is a 4/6, which is a huge stop sign in this format. That is really hard to attack into. And you can make something that's really not relevant later in the game. Like maybe you've got some of your, eager first years and they've rampant growth already, and now they're sitting around. Well, why not turn them into 3/1 Death Touchers? Maybe they get through, right?
Yeah, I mean, just attacking with a 3/1 Death Touch every turn, if you can manage that, like that's a game plan. That's enough.
Yeah. This asks nothing from you to prepare. Like it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, 6 mana or 6 toughness is huge in this format.
Yeah.
This card's pushed.
That's very hard to attack through.
Right.
One of my favorite cards.
It's a good one.
Love me a Warlock.
There's a Witherbloom uncommon that I don't have in this deck, but that I did get in both a sealed and a draft that I've done on Arena, and it's like it's essentially the like Craterhoof of the set as a spell. I don't recall the name of it, but it's 5 mana. It's 3 black-green, and all your creatures get +2/+2 and menace, and when this creature attacks, you gain 1 life.
I've got it in my pool. I can figure out the name of it.
Yeah, I've cast it every time I've cast it, I've won the game on the spot.
Right.
Root manipulation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, granted, I only cast it when I have like 5 or more creatures in play, but it's just like you're gaining, however many life. Sometimes those creatures already gain life when they attack, so you're just gaining extra life. You're hitting your inspiration trigger. So, like, the thing about Thornfist Striker is if you haven't gained life before combat and you attack with Thornfist Striker and a pest, then you're gaining life, and then all your creatures get the pump, right? So all your creatures get +2/+2 in menace, and you attack with all your creatures. If one of those Thornfist Striker, they're also getting +1/+0 and trample on top of that. You're gaining a ton of life. Your opponent can't block. They've got 3 creatures. They can block 1 creature.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's this card's frankly ridiculous.
And one of them's Arden, so it's attacking for like 5 points of menace, death touch, trample.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Pretty gross.
Anyway, I think that should be a pretty high pick.
Can I say there's one other, because we're short on time, but there's a black uncommon combat trick. Instant speed, 1 and a black. Until end of turn, your creatures get +1/+0, and when this creature dies, draw a card.
Right.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Rabbit Attack. This card is really good. Corey attacked me during our games. Instead of chumping, I removed all 3 of her creatures and drew 3 cards for 2 mana. Like, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, this card has so high upside.
Any number.
Yeah, you can just give all your creatures +1 power, and you draw a
For
card
2
when they
mana,
die.
this is really good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I think
that's
you look
goofy.
at this card and you think that it's going to give a creature +1/+0 and then you get a benefit, but being able to do it on multiple is just, this is so strong.
Wow, yeah. So if they block, you're trading up
Yep.
and
drawing
probably
a
drawing
card.
a card.
We actually-
and if they don't block, you're getting through for more damage.
We actually have this one on the radar for Aristocrats in Canadian Highlander too.
I was going to
Oh,
say.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just seems really powerful.
But sometimes you play Batwing Broom or whatever it is, like the 2, or no, it's got an Afterlife card from the clue set. It's not Batwing Broom. It's the same kind of thing though. I forget what this card's called, but it's 1 and like an Orzhov hybrid for like any number of creatures you control. Like when they die, you get a 1/1 spirit. Like they get Afterlife 1 or whatever. So this is the same kind of thing. For 2 mana, whenever your creature dies, it gets something. Plus, it's also an anthem.
Speaking actually of uncommons, Kathleen, also on Early Access Day, we did a Silver Quill Sealed, and I played a couple games. I played a couple more games with it off stream after we were done, before they took access away.
Sure.
And what's the name of it? Killian's
Confidence?
Is that what it's called?
The uncommon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, thank you. Killian's Confidence. Hey, this card is preposterous.
Yeah, it's really good in Silver Quill.
Yeah, it's white-black for a sorcery. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Draw a card. Then it continues. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may pay an Orzhov hybrid, and if you do, you return this card from your graveyard to your hand. So, you're triggering repartee. There's the Silver Quill mascot gains flying when you do that.
Right.
The creature you target with the +1/+1 does not have to be the creature dealing the combat damage.
Nope.
It's just any creature deals the combat damage.
Right.
You're also just drawing a card when you cast it. So, like, sort of for 3 mana, you're kind of drawing 2 cards, because you're drawing the card that you draw and getting this one back. Like, I found it not particularly difficult to put myself in a board position with Silver Quill where I cast this like 6 times in a game.
Yep.
It was very goofy.
Yeah, my deck doesn't have a lot of black creatures, period, but I have 2 of these in my sealed pool, and I'm like, can I make the Silver Quill deck work? And I tried, and it's like I have like 18 cards, and this week's pack didn't help either, but I thought about just splashing it because it brings itself back from the graveyard to like trigger the lore hold stuff.
Yeah.
but like my mana is not fantastic either, and like I'm trying to play like an aggressive white strategy, so I don't really want to be like fixing my mana.
2-drops. You don't want to be fixing your mana.
Exactly.
I do want to see a Mardu deck come together in this format.
Yeah, it does seem like Killian's Confidence is sort of this interesting trap where you're like, hey, do you want to play Mardu and just like pop off with your one repartee creature and all your Lorehold cards that care about getting Killian Confidence back every turn?
We're long. I don't want to bog us down, but I actually really do think that 3-color is very viable in here, and I think that 3-color is doable. There's enough fixing and enough lands in enough ways, especially if your green is one of your colors.
Yeah.
But I also want to say that 3-color is when the Converge cards are playable, I think.
Sure.
Because you have Snarl Song, which if you put 3 colors into it, it's a 6-mana sorcery, but you get 2 3/3s and you gain 3 life if you had 3 colors of mana. There's the Archaic that's casts for 6, and when it's a 3/3 and
I have that one
the
too.
Sundering Archaic, you exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast this creature. Obviously, it's bananas if it's 5, but I think 3 is where these cards are actually quite good.
A bunch of things that you need to take off the board are going to be 3.
Yeah.
You know?
I think 2 is very limited. I think I'm not going to feel very happy to get a 3/3 for 6 that exiles a 2-drop, but I think here I'm like, this is a very fine trade. I'm getting 6 mana worth of stuff I consider for my 6 mana.
Yeah, if you take out their 3/3 flyer and then you get a 3/3 on the ground, like that's okay.
Yeah. There's other stuff. There's one that draws you cards that I don't want to play unless I'm like casting it for 4, because it's like draw this many cards and then discard 2 cards, which could be good if you want stuff in your bin, but I don't know. I think 3-color is like a secret thing that you can make work. You can dual major, I think, in this set.
So I guess
Nice.
In the interest of sort of forming some kind of a conclusion about our impressions of
I'm having fun.
Limited.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
There's so much to do. I hope just by what we've been discussing, it comes across that there is a lot to do and a lot to figure out and like interesting things and cool synergies to find, and to even like mid-game be like, oh, wait a minute, I can do this. And I think that's really cool. I do think what you were saying right at the
at the very beginning of the show
is interesting.
Every college is trying to put together a little presentation. A little engine, a little like synergy machine.
Yeah, like Prismari has all of its Opus stuff. Then what you want to get to a point where you have like a bunch of creatures in play, and then you're casting bigger and bigger spells, and then your Opus spells are just like, you know, your creature's getting 2 counters and you're destroying 3 things, and then it, you know, it's building up and building up. Witherbloom, you have, you know, like, oh, I gain 1 life and now all my creatures are enormous. Lorehold is
keeps
like
caring more about getting a flashback spell.
Yeah, I
you're
just made
flashing back
another
your-
spirit. I've got 6 2/2 spirits now.
Yeah,
Right?
they
Yeah,
all
like-
get +1/+1.
Lorehold's like
whatever,
going wide and then getting taller, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And then like Silver Quill is you're needling and poking and like you're targeting creatures and getting all this sort of incidental value.
Yeah, you cast 1 spell and 4 triggers hit the board.
Yeah, and then Quandrix is just like you're putting counters on stuff, but then when you put the counters on stuff, you have things that care about having counters on stuff, and again, it's more and more ridiculous. And yeah, it's like if you can stop your opponent before they get their engine going, then that's very good. But if they get it going, then it's gonna, you know, the game's gonna. There's very much like a setup stage of the game where it's like both players are just trying to like get their stuff going, and if you can win the game, if you can be fast enough to win the game during that step, then that's ideal. But if it gets to the late stage, then it's both players are sort of like staring at one another being like, look at my magnificent creation. Watching one of us is going to break first.
I like that kind of format, though. Like, I like a synergistic, tinkery format.
Yeah. It's fun.
You can't get blown out. You can get blown out of nowhere, but sometimes you get to blow somebody out of nowhere. You know,
Yeah.
the cards giveth and taketh.
Sometimes your battle cruisers have to smash in the red zone.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes big ships want to get together and smooch. I mean, smash. I mean, PG-13 podcast.
I meant crash into each other. I meant that when I said smash.
Yeah. That's what I meant the whole time.
That's what I meant by smash.
That's not what I meant by smash.
Yeah.
So, if you want to see some more of Limited, obviously we'll be playing it on the Wednesday streams. But for the next couple, we've got 2 more weeks of our sealed league. This coming week, this coming Wednesday, and then 1 week off. More on that in a moment. And then week 4 of the Sealed League will be back in 2 weeks' time from the airing of this episode of Tap Tap. Look for the if you can't watch them live on twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun, look for the VODs here on LRRMTG on YouTube. Some fun gameplay. Why are we taking that week off? Well, because a bunch of folks are heading to MagicCon Las Vegas.
Including Kathleen.
Including Kathleen. We, and by we I mean the Loading Ready Run folks who are going, will be doing, there's 2 meet and greets, 2 big chaos events. If there's, I imagine those are sold out, but if they're not, they're always a good time. You want to get in on those. And Kathleen is hosting and writing and running a D&D game set in Strixhaven. And have you talked about who your players are?
I have, but I'll talk about it again because my players are pretty cool. From Dropout, we have Carolyn Page and Persephone. From our friend Ruben and PPR alumni, we have Ruben Bresler. And literally the person who wrote the book, which is behind me on the set, you can see it, Shauna McGuire is one of my players. Wow. So we're sitting down.
Stacked cast.
Hey, can I give you some
a teaser?
A teaser.
A little preview? Do it.
Yeah, I already did this. But hey, Graham, you're in a hallway. A vending machine hums contentedly, as it is a vending machine and therefore has no problems or opinions. It offers the following options. You have, would you like to buy some soda, I guess? First of all?
Yeah. What are the offerings in the vending machine?
All right. Cran Belladros cocktail. Promises an earthy taste. Spite, which just comes in a white and black can. Quandrix Cola, now with double bubbles. Prismilk Tea. La Hold, sparkling water, cherry flavored. That one was kind of hard to get a joke for. And a button that just says, surprise me. Who knows?
I can't wait to see what the players decide.
I hope that they pick surprise me because that one's the best and contains further jokes. So anyhow, that's the kind of... Will they go to this vending machine? They might just walk by.
What time is that, by the way? That's on Saturday?
That's Saturday at 2:30, I believe.
Yeah.
In a big hall that you can come and watch.
Yeah, in the showcase stage. I'm really trying to make Dungeons and Dragons a thing that happens at MagicCon because, I mean, like, realistically, it's all the same company. They should be doing it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a fun way to engage. So it is a very goofy, fun 3 hours, and I hope that you come and join it and convince Wizards of the Coast that I am good at telling the D&D game story and that they should, do more Dungeons and Dragons content.
Yeah. Sweet. So until then, come say hi to everybody at Vegas. But reminder now for you to check out cardkingdom.com/LRR for your cardboard needs. Dragon Shield, use the code LRRMTG5 for a 5% discount. And of course, this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Until next time, I have been Graham, joined by Nelson.
Primordially yours.
And Kathleen.
I'm my own person.
James is on tech. Heather gets these online. Thank you all for watching. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye
Bye everybody.